Okay, I think you hear my voice. I think now okay. Today we are going to see what is dissolved oxygen. Previously, we saw the one experiment. Now see the further details. uh, First, what is dissolved oxygen? The dissolved oxygen, it refers to the level-free, non-compound oxygen present in water or other liquid. It is an important parameter in assessing water quality because of its influence on organisms living within a body of water, like fish, like that. So, fish is the main, is consume the dissolved oxygen in the water. Normally, normally the fish, when we catch out the fish from water, it can't live with the atmospheric oxygen. It's need only dissolved oxygen in the water, the type of oxygen. Atmospheric has also oxygen. That type of oxygen cannot consume by fish. Only the dissolved oxygen from the water is used. Right. This is the so you can understand what's the difference between the dissolved oxygen and other oxygen. The importance of dissolved oxygen in aquatic life. Dissolved oxygen is necessary to many aquatic animals as they use oxygen in respiration. Microbes and fungi also require DO, the short form of oxygen, dissolved oxygen. It is called uh, dissolved oxygen. The decomposing organic material at the bottom of body of water. So this is one. Where does DO come from? It's through AR, the photosynthesis, and diffusion from atmosphere, wind cycling, carbon dioxide plant by product. Aquatic organisms, they are DO requirements, the oxygen requirement in level. So these are the type of fish, the carp and salmon, trout. So are the different type of fish and oxygen requirements in the presence of water. Right? Oxygen requirements. Consequences of unusual DO level. Fish or winter kills, gas bubble disease. This is the important parameter. The uses of dissolved oxygen analysis determine the health or cleanness of lake or stream. Determine the amount of and type of biomass freshwater system can support. Determine the amount of decomposition occurring in the lake or stream. These are the different methods of analysis to find the dissolved oxygen level in the water. This is the electrometric method. The digital can directly read the reading by this instrument. Optical sensor method. This is the optical DO sensor. In very big companies, some of the cloth industries, very big company has this instrument. They have to check the dissolved oxygen content in the effluent of drainage water or other waters. They have to check. Different method of analysis: electrochemical DO sensor, atmospheric or Clark type sensor. Different methods of analysis. This is indigo carbine, rhodosamine. Different methods of analysis. Trigonometric method. Method. Previously we see with this one. Winkler method. BOD bottle and this one. The Winkler titration. So this is some of the important points of this one. Finally, you can write now. Say another PDF. Stop. This one. In a PDF. This one. What is some of the most point? What is dissolved? It is the amount of oxygen gas dissolved in water. Water has a molecule oxygen. It is composition. What it is not the oxygen that we are taking about. Think of dissolving spoonful sugar in a glass of water. How does water gets a dissolved oxygen? The oxygen dissolved in water gets their by contact with the atmosphere and sometimes to underground water found depending on body of water in question. Water in constant movement gets more oxygen on than still water. The dissolved oxygen factors. These are the factors determine the dissolved oxygen levels, this temperature, cold water holds more oxygen than hot water. Salinity levels, fresh water holds more DO than salt water. Salinity levels, the fresh water holds more DO than salt water. What is this so important? This already we see the from keeping your pet fish alive to keep a healthy ecosystem. It is important what factors are missing with the dissolved oxygen levels, because if they go dangerously low, it will both kill the fish your tank or destroy the whole ecosystem in the nature. Examples, the runoff of salt from roads. The meaning runoff. Study in irrigation technology. Runoff means the portion of precipitation during the rainy time. It's the flow pass through above the surface portion of water. Runoff, important term in the irrigation technology. Runoff, right? Runoff fertilizer from guards causing eutrophication in lakes. Factories treat Factories treating wastewater and returning to body of water warmer than it should be. Methods of measuring electrochemical devices, electrochemical tests. These are some tests. The traditional test is this a Wigler method analysis. Laboratory test also. I think if you have food technology department, they also have this experiment. Mainly they have to determine, they have the Wigler analysis. I think so. The food department. Then electrochemical probes. Clark electrochemical probes, they are also known as membrane covered probes, are called this way in honor to their inventor Dr. Lee Clark. They work by using membrane that is semi-permeable to gases. When there is oxygen present, it will diffuse through the membrane at cathode. This is the electrochemical method. Source of error, calibrating the probe is improperly installed electrode, weak electrolyte inside the membrane. Titrimetric test. They consist of having dissolved oxygen react and then titrate with the solution that will react with the fixed oxygen. The amount of oxygen in the sample will correspond to amount of titration solution added to the sample until the end point is reached. A titrating test is normally called this Wingler-Medal test, right? This is the some error, human error corresponding to the levels of skill the person performing the test, oxygen introducing to the sample at the moment of sample retrieval. The titration solution not being in optimal condition. That's some type of tests. These are the type of titration. You couldn't see the screen? Hello, anybody tell me, you couldn't see that,
We can't see, sir.
sorry, I already, I'll share. Sorry. Now okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, okay. Ah, you can tell me, okay. If you couldn't find the screen, you can inform me, okay, no problem. Let's say dissolved oxygen. Right, what is this one? What is dissolved oxygen? It is amount of oxygen. This is some of the definition previously see. Is the amount of oxygen gas dissolved in water. Water has molecule of oxygen. Normally, you know what's the molecule compound of water. This is the two hydrogen and one oxygen. H2O. This is a molecule H2O. But that is not the oxygen that we are taking about. Think of dissolving spoonful of sugar in a glass of water. How does water it is dissolved oxygen? The oxygen dissolved in the water gets in thereby contact with the atmosphere and sometime through underground water fountain depending on body of water in question. Water in constant movement gets by water in constant movements gets the oxygen on it than still water. Dissolved oxygen factor. These are the factors you have to know. Important things. There's a temperature. Cold water holds more oxygen than hot water. Salinity level. Fresh water holds more dissolved oxygen than salt water. Why this so important? from keeping your pet fish alive to keeping healthy ecosystems, it is important that factors are meshing with the dissolved oxygen levels, because if they go dangerously low, so will both kill the fish in your tank. What they are telling, it is important that factors mixing with the dissolved oxygen levels, because if they go dangerously low, it will both kill the fish in your tank or destroy a whole ecosystem in the nature. So fish also important parameter in the ecosystem. You know the ecosystem, the forest ecosystem, the one of the food chain, because fish eat the birds and the thing when man catch the fish and eat. So this is the one of the food chain. You can understand what I mean. The balanced ecosystem. Normally, you know, in the forest area, we can't hunt the deer. You know what's the reason? The government rules. It's what's the reason to can't hunt the deers and the animals? This maintain the biological ecosystem in the forest. But normally you can think a simple example for ecosystem. If we hunt the deer or other animals for our purpose, for eating purpose. So if the deer is at one time, the amount of deers can be decreased. So that other animals, so the lion, the other animals can come into the human. So sorry, not the human. The man lived places. It can come. They can come into a village. So what's the reason? They have no food. So that is the one of the ecosystem is maintained. So government rules. We can't hunt the deer or other animals. So the reason is maintain the ecosystem. That means the biological ecosystem. I think you study the food chain during the ordinary level. That one also one of the ecosystem. One the grass, how eat the grass, and man eat that's one of the food chain. Right. This is the ecosystem. You can understand what's the meaning of the ecosystem, the forest ecosystem, and the an environmental ecosystem, and marine ecosystem also there. Ecological balance is called, because everything depend on others. The human being also depend on others. We need depend on the other animals for food and other purpose, right? Runoff salt, runoff salt from roads. Normally, you study in irrigation technology, the runoff, the portion of precipitation above the surface during the rainy time. Runoff coefficient, that's important, very important parameter. The runoff calculation that you studied in the irrigation technology. and unit hydrograph and that thing that is runoff fertilizer from guards in lakes. Methods of measuring the electrochemical devices. That another method we already see one of the Winkler's method that is a laboratory method. If you have the food department in the university, they have this system, the Winkler's method, how to the proceed the instrumentation is there in the food technology lab. They also do this test Winkler's method. The electrochemical probes, the Clark electrochemical probes, they are also known as membrane covered probes, are called this way honored to. They are invented Dr. Lee and Clark. They worked by using membrane. There's some of the tests, right? Source of error, calibrating the probes is improperly about this calibration. Yeah. This is a trimetric test, but also Winkler's method. The source of error, human error corresponding to the level of skill of the person performing the test. Oxygen introduced to the test to the sample at the moment of sample retrieval, the titration solution not being in optimal condition. Then these are the types of test, calorimetric test, source of error, human error, and now analytical scales. These are the calorimetric test. Test evaluated. Trimetric test, it is DO test, DO kit. The first setup used lab consider is the one of the test 3,500 milliliter beaker filled up tap water, room temperature. It was then placed over string plate at velocity 7. A funnel connected to lab air pumped into the in order to introduce air to the sample and maintain steady level of it. This was aimed in order to make the experiment more replicable by replacing the lab pump, aquarium air pump. This one. The stirring plate is a lab pump. DO. PM, what's the meaning? The parts per million. 8.5. GSWA probe versus GAC probe. The values were compared over period of 25 minutes. As we can observe in the graph, the water has around the maximum amount of dissolved oxygen that can be achieved at this temperature, which is around 8 ppm. This is the unit 8 ppm of oxygen. We see the calculation later. Dissolved oxygen. The difference of 50 minutes was measured in order to make sure that levels of oxygen in water were not fluctuating too much, and that is what was found? The average difference was only 6.11%. Test comparison at room temperature. This one. Dissolved oxygen. This is the one type of meters. EWS, WA meter. As it would, as it was to be expected, the lower the temperature, the higher the concentration of DO in the water sample. However, for some reasons, the La Motte kit had a much bigger difference from electrochemical meters than past experiments. The difference between the La Motte and GSWA meter was of 23%. The same sodium hydrosulfide solution was used to calibrate the sample, so that may explain why, in case an error was made during the calibration, the two meters would be skewed similarly. These are some of the comparison. It was noticed that the higher temperature than 40 degrees Celsius, PSE meter would not function properly and it would display error. So, in order to keep the equipment from getting harmed, no higher than 40 degrees Celsius was reached for this test. DO. Do not use the measure. Do not use the used to measure DO in the hot spring. With the chemical experiment, it was decided to let the sample sit at room temperature after it was collected in the closed bottle because all chemical reactions are faster at higher temperatures. Some of the comparisons, the different types of meters used in the dissolved oxygen, cold versus warm water. The difference can be seen clearly in this experiment at most trustworthy instrument, which is there was a difference of 78.6%. This is one of the reasons. Some of the test. Then we see the next one, the biological oxygen demand. This one also important. But one chapter is the DO, dissolved oxygen. And another one is biochemical oxygen demand. Biochemical. What's biochemical oxygen? We can see the what's the meaning. Biochemical oxygen demand is the measurement of the how much oxygen is consumed by microorganism. Microorganism means there's a bacteria, there's a that type of things. Bacteria, alga, that's amoeba, is called microorganism in the water sample. In a determined amount of time, there is you have the calculation part also. This to determine the biological oxygen demand. everything. The water sample in a determined amount of time. This is very important to know because if the biochemical oxygen demand is too high, then the water dissolved oxygen levels would get dangerously low. The phenomenon called eutrophication. Eutrophication happens when there are too many nutrients in the water, which causes an alka bloom. Alka bloom means that is the microorganism. EOD in the Pasig River. Some of they are collecting the sample from some of the different sites. The site 1, 2.7, site 3. Yes, site 2 no any microorganism. Site 3, site 4, site. While testing for a biochemical oxygen demand for these sites, couple of issues were found. First, although we had sterilite bottle, the standard lab test is not one of the tests. The lab test that was designed for samples of exactly 65 milliliter and not 265 milliliter. Site 2 was done a day before. And the data was probably read, so it was not included in chart. In order to test proportion relationship was calculated. So for 65 millimeter bottles, 8 drops, you needed the 265 milliliter. We will see some of the video clips later. EOD. Another problem with this data is that it was taken 7 days after the initial reading instead of 5 days, which is the necessary to test the biochemical oxygen demand. In conclusion, the biochemical oxygen demand the data is not reliable and should be performed again, correcting the mistake made. First, only 65 milliliter bottles should be used. So you have to you can get some overall idea what's the meaning BOD. Can think about biochemical oxygen demand. Normally, microorganism is consumed oxygen. They consume the oxygen from water. That type of so you can simply understand. Here involved in mainly microorganism. What's the biological oxygen demand test? We can find out the amount of microorganism presence in water or sewage water. Amount of microorganism. Find the amount of microorganism in water or sewage water. So that's the thing. Okay. Likewise, COD demand also. COD means chemical oxygen demand. About all the methods, in conclusion, the most reliable, accurate, and easier to use methods are the different types of methods. The chemical methods take minimum 20 minutes of perform, while the electronic probes will give the readings instantly. Of course, extra care should be taken calibrating the probe. Probes means that's a hole of the electrode. Samaya pole like this is accuracy and technology is the reason these probes are so expensive. About all the methods, trigonometric methods would be next. They are pretty accurate, as we were able to see with the lab on the kit. About the whole method, next the low budget aquarium kits, the Profi 2 test. Tests like these will do the job of approximately displaying the amount of dissolved oxygen. But it will not be very accurate. These are really mean people who want to make sure that a lack of oxygen is not killing their pressing their also aquarium. The important term you see, if there was more child the BOD, each of the sites would be repeated. Dissolved oxygen at the different salinity concentrations. This also an interesting factor than affect dissolved oxygen. BOD with different cultures of organism. So you can get some of the overall idea. BOD. The syllabus also mentioned the BOD, COD calculation and some of the calculation part. Right? These are the important parameters BOD. Now I told some important points you can note from onwards. I will share the previous slide. Okay, you write this note for the what is dissolved oxygen? What is dissolved oxygen? You can simply write in your two sentence. Refers to level of free non-compound oxygen present in water or other liquid. I think now, second month, I will give the assignment. You can submit, I think next month I will give. So, if you want, you can write this one. I will give some time. What is the dissolved oxygen? There is exam type of question. What is the dissolved oxygen? You note this one. You have some laboratory practicals also. We have some practical, the jar test and flocculation test, I think so. Oh, I will show some clips and understand how to do the jar test and flocculation test. So this is the one of the important terms. What is the dissolved oxygen? Then then I can ask this one. What are the uses of dissolved oxygen analysis? So you can write this point. Determine the health or cleanness of lake or stream. Determine the amount and type of biomass freshwater system can support. Determine the amount of decomposition occurring in the lake or stream. So you can write these points. I can ask the question during the exam time. What are the uses of dissolved oxygen? So determine the health or cleanness of a lake, stream. Determine the amount and type of biomass freshwater system can support. Determine the amount of decomposition occurring in the lake or stream. This is the drinking water. This one for drinking water. Determine the decomposition. This is a sewage water. Determine the amount of decomposition occurring in the lake or stream. You heard about pollution, water pollution. We can measure the pollution indicator. One of the indicators here. with water pollution. Some of the environmental engineering, environmental science, there's the portion, another subject on. The dissolved oxygen is used to indicate the amount of pollution in the water or lake, something like this. You can measure the water pollution. So this is the parameters for uses of dissolved oxygen analysis. Then no need this one, no need. So this is the period important question, right? Dissolved oxygen analysis. Right. Let's see next PDF. This part. One of the analysis one, right? Dissolved oxygen. Some of the outlines are there. Outline biochemical oxygen demand, BOD as a measure of oxygen demanding wastewater, demanding wastes in water. So distinguish between aerobic and anaerobic decomposition of the what's the meaning aerobic and anaerobic. Then this alkaline bacteria, something like that, aerobic and anaerobic decomposition of organic matter in water. Describe the process of uh, eutrophication and this effect. Describe the source and effects of thermal pollution water. So you can see the solubility of oxygen at 1 atm. Atm means atmospheric pressure. It's a temperature. This one 293 Kelvin is 9 pm. You will see what's the meaning of ppm. Solubility of gases decreases as temperature rises. Needed for aerobic respiration of aquatic plants and animals, etc. The fish need 3 ppm or 3 milligram decimeter cube. 1 decimeter cube, how much liter? We will decide what's the meaning of ppm. 1 decimeter cube. Yes. 1 decimeter cube. 1 decimeter cube is equal, you remember, that's a 1 liter equal to 1000 milliliter. So we have to take one conclusion. What's the meaning of ppm? Can express with our normally using the units. 1 ppm means equal to 3 milligram per liter. 3 milligram per liter. But sorry, 3 pm is equal to 3 milligram. So 1 pm is equal to 1 milligram liter, right? So normally 1 kilogram of water. So ppm means 1 ppm, 1 milligram. We'll check and confirm 1 ppm how much unit. Because we have to know, we should know this, but I mean the ppm unit. ppm to milligram per liter. Yes. So remember this one. 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per liter. Right? So remember this one. 1 ppm 1 ppm. 1 ppm is 1 milligram per liter. 1 milligram per 1 liter. Sorry, per 1 liter. 1 milligram per 1 liter. Okay. Like, yeah. Like, uh, normally in the some of the VD sites bottle also they are mentioning ppm level. How much amount of that's a VD sites like the chemical, it is used to in paddy field like that. They mention in the ppm how much amount of juice. So what's the meaning of ppm? ppm means 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per liter. So approximately 1 milliliter is equal to 1 milligram as per the condition. Normally, 1 liter. 1 liter is equal to 1 kilogram. So 1 kilogram. So 1 liter. So 1000 milliliter. How much? 1 milligram. 1 milligram per liter. How much? 1 milligram. So you know 1 liter is equal to 1 kilogram approximately. 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. 1000 gram. 1000 gram. 1000 gram. 1000 into 1000. 1 gram. Sorry, 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligram. So 1 kilogram is equal to 10 to the power 6 milligram. Understand? 1 kilogram is equal to 10 to the power 6 milligram. And another thing, 1 centimeter cube. 1 centimeter cube. 1 centimeter cube. 1 liter is equal to 1 liter. Of the calculation we will see. Right. 1 ppm. 1 ppm is equal to right. So 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per 1 liter. So we have to know 1 centimeter cube how much milligram. Normally you know 1 meter cube. So we have to know some relationship calculation. Approximately, I think we will check 1 milligram. 1 milligram. One milligram to milliliter. Yeah. So 1 milliliter is equal to milligram divided by 1000. So, 1 milliliter. So you see the calculation, right? Okay. 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter is equal to milligram divided by 1000, right? This is an important calculation. Yeah. 1 milliliter. 1 ppm. So this is a very, very important unit, 1 ppm. Everything in usage, the chlorine dosage also using the ppm unit. The chlorination is used for disinfection purpose. Overall, we will see that the chart is there, the treatment whatever. Right. The 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram. So, this is the volume. So, 1 milligram is equal to, so you can, from this calculation, 1 milligram is equal to 1000 liter, 1000 milliliter. So, the calculation you can see, right? It's some of the calculation. 1000 milliliter. 1000. Okay. So, I will change the color. One ppm is equal to the 1 milligram per 1 liter. So 1 milliliter is equal to milligram per thousand, right? So 1000 milliliter. Thousand milliliter is equal to second one of the calculation. Normally, you know the calculation. 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. Huh? One of something. Sorry, one. Yeah, they are mentioning the 1 milligram is equal to 1000 0.9 this one, right? Sorry, some of the 1 milligram, 1 milligram is equal to, by mistake that one, 1 milligram is equal to milliliter divided by 1000. Okay, now you say okay, that's one. Equal to the unit conversion, sir. Point point 1 milliliter. 0.1 milliliter. So 1000 milliliter, how much gram? Normally we see there 3 milligram. 3 milligram means, so this one. 3 milligram means this one. 3 milligram means 0.003 milliliter. 0.003 milliliter per liter. So you can understand. Some of the bottle, D-side bottle also mentioned, they are mentioned the 3 ppm or 5 ppm. So that's a meaning like that. 3 ppm means 3 milligram per liter. 3 milligram means 3 milligram means how much? 0.003 milliliter. But you have to add the 0.003 milliliter. That's we decided of chlorine chlorination or 3 ppm chlorine dosage means. So you have to add the 0.003 milliliter into 1 milliliter water, right? So 3 ppm. Right, 1 milligram is equal to 0.111 milliliter. So 3 ppm, we will see 3 ppm. 3 ppm. 3 ppm is equal to 3 milligram per liter. So 3 milligram per 1 milligram, how much? 0.0001. So this one, you have to multiply. So not 0.03 milliliter per liter, right? Like RE. So you have to memorize this one, the ppm is meaning. So in water supply, this unit, the unit also, right? We use this type of units, right? 3 ppm. 3 ppm means 0.003 milliliter per anything, the chlorination or some of the uh, we decide and many other things we decide. That's a bottle they mentioned this uh, how much you have to use. You have to mix this amount of this volume of from 1 liter water. 1 liter water we will mention, right? 1 liter only water, no any other sorry other liquid. 1 liter water. So we have to you understand this what I am writing? Anyone tell me? I am writing this one. You understand? What am I writing? Does anyone tell me? Did you see that 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per 1 liter? Could you able to see this conversion, unit conversion? Anyone tell me? I want to check whether it is visible or not. Anyone tell me? Hello? This one visible or not? This unit conversion. If you tell me, I can develop. Yeah, it is visible to see this conversion. because I have to edit in the PDF. Hello. Anyone answer me? No one is there, or you can't hear my voice. Could you able to see this unit conversion in red color letter?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah, right. Yes. Okay. Because I would check this visible or not. Okay, no problem. So this is a simple unit calculation. So you have to memorize that. So what's the meaning? 1 ppm. 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per liter. 1 milligram is equal to 1 milliliter per thousand. So 0.11, 0.01 per milliliter. So 3 pm means 0.003 milliliter per 1 liter water. This is the Benson parameter, 1 liter water. Not other liquids or thing, only water. We have to speak here. Right? You can right. This one ppm, 1 milliliter. You can remember this one. This unit conversion. This is the standard one, 1 liter water. Then dissolved oxygen, aerobic, the amount of dissolved oxygen in water, the more aerobic respiration, the lower the amount of dissolved oxygen. At times, organic waste and other nutrients end up in water of river or lake. Dissolved oxygen in water, organic waste is equal to feces, dead organisms, urea, untreated sewage, waste from food production, organic waste in water is first broken down by aerobic respiration by bacteria for energy. So you understand this one. The dissolved water lowered organic waste in water, this one food production. So this is the important thing. Is organic, the untreated sewage, right? Untreated sewage waste from food production, right? Waste from the organic waste. So you have to know that one. The organic waste means dead organism, urea, untreated sewage, the waste from food production. Organic waste in water is first broken down by aerobic respiration by bacteria for energy. Dissolved oxygen in the water is low. Products of aerobic respiration, water, carbon dioxide, inorganic iron like nitrates. Uh, the dissolved oxygen in water, BOD or biochemical oxygen demand. You already see BOD. Indicate the amount of oxygen, organic waste. So this is the important thing. So, amount of BOD can be indicator of amount of organic waste, right? The important thing, BOD, right? Amount of organic waste, right? So you know organic waste. What is the meaning of organic waste? This is the dead organism, urea, waste from food products, waste from food products. Organic waste in water is first broken down by aerobic by bacteria for energy. Products of this one also important. This one aerobic aerobic respiration and with the dissolved oxygen in the water is lowered. Products of aerobic respiration, water, carbon dioxide, inorganic ions like nitrates, nitrites, and phosphates. The BOD measured by determining the amount of oxygen, the sample of water in ppm. Also, you have the clear-cut idea about ppm, right? You remember this one, right? ppm. 1 ppm is equal to 1 milligram per 1 liter. 1 milligram is equal to 1 milliliter divided by 1000. So, 0.001 milliliter. You note down this point. 1 milligram is equal to 3 ppm is equal to, you have to multiply this one. 0.003 milligram. This one milliliter per 1 liter. This is standard one. 1 liter. No any other liquid. Only water. Okay. Speak about ppm. Water per in this one. Any weedicides or chlorination or any other, what is this one? Other, some of the cleaning materials will be used on the ppm level. And here urea like this also. Urea amount of urea level we can speak in ppm units. So urea now means it's a 1 milligram. Urea is a solid particles. So we can measure in milligram. So I think paddy field per acre, how much ppm? Some of the measurements is there. A measurement means allowable limit of this one. The weedicide and ammonia and sorry, not ammonia. That's a urea. Ammonia is a molecule content of urea. Everything speak in ppm. The ammonia amount of urea, amount of weedicide, and that's in ppm. Allowable, everything has allowable limit. Normally, we can't use the urea without any limitation. We have the limit how much amount of we can use per acre or per land, sorry, per area. Rather in agriculture, right? Then the aerobic respiration lowers amount of dissolved oxygen in water. The more aerobic respiration, the lower the amount of dissolved oxygen, and times organic waste and other nutrients end up in water of river or lake. Organic waste already seen one. DODO, your oxygen demand. DOD can be as an indicator of the amount of organic waste. BOD measure determine the amount of oxygen sample water in BPM. Start and determining in again after 5 days. The difference is the amount of oxygen used by aerobic bacteria decomposed by organic matter. Water sample is fixed over 5 days at 293 Kelvin, means this is a temperature measurement. We put in a Kelvin, 293 Kelvin, and the dark. Dark means without any sunlight. The dissolved oxygen in the water, the greater the BOD, the less dissolved oxygen there is. The greater the BOD, the more organic waste there are in water sample. The dissolved oxygen measurement, the water sample is collected, is the one of the practical. So you can understand what they are doing. The dissolved oxygen measurement, water sample is collected and added to the oxygen saturated water or to aqueous is known. So water is left for 5 days and in the dark. Now O2 aqueous is measured using an oxygen electrode titration and BOD O2 aqueous NO2. Pure water has BOD 1 less than 1 ppm. What's the meaning? 1 ppm per day means. This is the, we will compare this 1 BOD less than 1 ppm again. So BOD 1 ppm. So it's considered the water, the pure water consists 1 milligram oxygen per 1 pure liter pure water, 1 liter pure water. Understand what's the meaning of BOD? BOD is equal 1 ppm. So we here speak the 1 ppm BOD means clearly you have to make you have to get clear cut idea. 1 ppm BOD is 1 ppm. So understand what? Uh, 1 ppm the 1 ppm BOD BOD is equal to 1 milligram oxygen. O2, you know, this is the symbol of the O2 means oxygen, oxygen gas. Normally, you know the what's the meaning of oxygen. Okay, 1 milligram oxygen. O2, O2, O2 per 1 liter water, 1 liter water. Okay, this is the meaning. The important parameters. We have to do some calculation BOD. So we will speak in a ppm level. Everything 1 milligram O2. So 1 milligram means oxygen. How much we can convert to volume? 0.001 liter. So one thing. So 1 milligram is equal to 0.11 milliliter. Normally, we measure the oxygen in weight. Not only we can we will not speak in liter. So normally you can see in hospital the oxygen cylinder. They speak in weight, kilogram, right? You understand? The LPG gas also in kilogram unit. Likewise, oxygen gas also measure in kilogram unit, not in volumetric one. It only this the liquid only speak about liter units. You understand? The water and kerosene oil, that's an oil and a liquid type of things is talking liter, and gases in weight. The unit is used, right? You already see that one. So you have to know about some of the clear cut idea. 1 ppm BOD is equal to 1 milligram oxygen per 1 liter. So you note this one. Okay, 1 milligram. This one. Then measuring dissolved oxygen. This is the chemical reaction, the chemical component. Already see some parts. This one. The Winkler method. 2 manganese plus 4 OH minus. This is the base. Sorry, this is the base content with oxygen. This is the reaction. MnO2 solid is the precipitation. Solid plus H2O. MnO2 plus 2I iodine. Manganese oxide plus iodide plus 4H plus the reaction. Manganese plus aqueous. 2H2O3 plus I2. This one, right? And aerobic respiration of large amounts of organic matter produce large amounts of inorganic ions such as nitrates, fertilizers, and phosphates, detergents in water. These ions are nutrition to alkane, the alkyl bloom or red tide occurs. This bloom removes a lot of dissolved oxygen from water. To below level, many aerobic organisms cannot survive, including aerobic bacteria. They die. No organic waste is added, reducing the oxygen further. Anaerobic respiration, methane, ammonia, amines, methane gas is a LPG gas that's used for cooking purpose. This is methane, and then it's called natural gas. Ammonia, amines, hydrogen sulfide, foul smelling gas, right? Euro, Europication causes the untreated sewage has a lot of organic waste, runoff animal waste from farms, nitrates from fertilizers, phosphates from detergents. What's the meaning? Detergents. So washing powders, called as detergents, right? The process in which water bodies, rivers like receive excessive amount of nutrients, organic waste, nitrates, which causes excessive plant growth. Algae, which in turn reduce the amount of dissolved oxygen and prevent sunlight from entering the water. Right? This one. So you understand some dissolved oxygen and BOD is the practical. You will see there some video clips you can understand easily. That's BOD, how to determine the BOD level BOD test. Thing you have the practical jar test, flocculation test, I will explain it. This is a 200 hours per subject, you know. So you will have to remember this. Yeah, this 1 ppm BOD, 1 ppm BOD. So this is the unit conversion. 1 milligram per liter. Now 9 o'clock. No problem. This is an interesting subject. You know, you have the calculate part also there and theoretical parts also there. Okay, now it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to wind up this session. I think previously I didn't share that video clip. I will share today or day after tomorrow. I will share that video clip. No problem. Uh, I have to give the assignment as per the module description. You can send the PDF as a electronic as a PDF file. You can scan and convert the PDF and send. You study the assignment questions and that one also okay for exam. Then what you can get good marks. You study that assignment question. I think you have the field visit also and as per the module description, I think your HOD will arrange. And the assignment and one or two practical also there. Okay, we will see in coming Saturday. But coming Saturday, date, yeah, 10. So, yeah, okay, no problem. I can. Coming week, I have to arrange the TVC Viva for my students. In, okay, 7, 8, 9. I can conduct the class. At next class or next class onwards, we will see some calculations also there. Okay, we will meet again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.